Welcome to the largest Chinatown in all of the United States of America. This is also now known as Little Shanghai here in Flushing Main Street, New York City. Today we're going to wander around Flushing Main Street to see how it looks like during these times of the pandemic. I haven't been here in quite a while. Absolutely enjoy loving walking around here. There's always great food and always a great ambiance. So join me for this wander through Flushing Main Street. I'm Ariel with Urbanist, and let's go. So Flushing Main Street is located in Queens. Queens is one of the 5 boroughs of New York City, and Flushing is a little bit further into Queens. It's the last stop on the 7 train. Now, a lot of the signs we're going to see are mostly going to be in the Chinese languages and also in Korean. And that's because this is the largest Chinatown in the US and among one of the larger Korean enclaves of the US. Let's walk around and enjoy Chinatown. Here we have a huge Chinese supermarket, and you always find very unique vegetables that you won't find in other locations, such as dragon fruit right over there. And golden melon. Hello Kay, hello Cindy, hello Angelo. Bienvenido, sweet plum, guava. Guava you'll find in more places. Mango, of course, you'll find in a lot of places. But you'll find other interesting ones like this one. Gail, yeah, I'm doing very well. Hello, Gloria. Your son was talking about Chinatown last night. Oh, what was he referring to? So lots of goods being sold in the street. Now this is known as Little Shanghai. However, you would think that title has been here for the 2 or 3 decades that the Chinese American community has been here. Not quite. Chinatown first grew here in Flushing Main Street shortly after the 1964 World's Fair, where a lot of Taiwanese and Hong Kongese workers were brought over to work on the exhibits. Not every country participated that year in the World's Fair. Only people from Hong Kong, Taiwan, there was also a Japanese one, I think. There was a few other countries that participated. Some of the Taiwanese and the Hong Kongese decided to stay here, and they mingled with the Chinese Americans who spoke similar languages, especially Hong Kongese that already speak Cantonese. They were getting along and they started filling up this neighborhood. However, Shanghai is way far away from Hong Kong. Shanghai is northern China, or almost northern China, and they speak a different language. They speak Mandarin. Hence, a lot of Mandarin-speaking Chinese started coming here in the past 10 years, specifically international students and other people associated with business, Chinese business here in the US. They started moving right here. And thus, this is now not just Chinese Americans or Taiwanese or Hong Kongese Americans that came here in the 60s, but these are Chinese from China. And the culture you're starting to see is different. You don't no longer see typical Chinese American food restaurants like General Tso's Chicken, for example. You're starting to see bubble tea places. So that's the context. Let's walk around. John, you were born in Flushing Hospital in 1978. Oh, just when Chinatown started growing. Mijoli, you say, wow, Ariel, tú cubre bocas, me encanto. Oh, que viste que te encanta la mascarilla mía. I'm glad you enjoy my mask. Es tu estilo, it's my style. Yes, it is. Gail, 10:30 p.m. in London. Oh, I know. Quite a time difference. Along our walk, we're going to see a lot of the Chinese banks. Here's Cathay Bank. And please forgive my pronunciation of Chinese or Korean words in advance, as I say a few of them. Cindy, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate it. Hello, John. Welcome. Hello, Jose. If you're tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. I'm broadcasting both on YouTube and on Facebook. There's good food here. Yes, I agree. Lots of great food here. Hello, Vanessa from Brazil. Hello, Gabriel from Santiago, Chile. Bienvenidos. Estamos ahora en Chinatown, el barrio chino de Nueva York, el más grande de Estados Unidos, the biggest Chinatown in America. Here is the Chinese herb stores. There's a lot of them. Herbo stores sell original Chinese medicine. And here's where the best dumplings in Chinatown used to be. It's closed. It was the Golden Mall. R.I.P. And thank you so much for the stars. And here we're starting to get to the crowded area of Main Street. You thought this was crowded? Well, wait until we get one more block. Hello, Cindy from Puerto Rico. Gracias por mirando. Espero que todo está bien en Puerto Rico. Excelente. Abierto en el domingo. Sí, casi todo está abierto en el domingo aquí en Nueva York. Yes, almost everything's open in Sundays here in New York City. New York City doesn't close down on Sundays. Very rare. Strip waxer. Yes, I'm using a DJI Osmo Mobile 3 with my iPhone. Nancy, thank you so much for the stars. John, the Mississippi, welcome, John. Gracias por mirando. Mitzi, is this near Brooklyn? I'm so lost. No, this is not near Brooklyn. We are in the borough of Queens. Queens is one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. To get to Brooklyn would be it's going to be quite a long while. To get there by train, you have to take the 7 and then transfer to another train. So, it'll take like an hour. So we're kind of separated from Brooklyn in terms of train, but driving, we're pretty close. Driving, it's only about 15 minutes. Even walking, you can get there in about an hour. So nice to see people complying with masks. Yes, you know what? It's because of the Chinese culture. So I want to differentiate between Chinese American and Chinese. Chinese Americans have been here at least 20 plus 40 years, 60 years, up to about 200 years. So that's the Chinese American population. They came mostly from Canton at first, the Guangdong province, mostly spoke Cantonese, and then the ones that came in the 60s were from Taiwan and Hong Kong, who had similar culture to the Cantonese. But then you had Chinese that are recently from China, mostly from the Mandarin parts of China. And when you talk about Chinese culture, it's rather normal to wear a mask. And you think I'm about to get a sunset shot. Yeah, we're pretty far away from sunsets right now. It's about 2 hours away. Historical library. Yes, there's a historic library here. I think we passed it. There was a post office down there that looked very historic. So Gloria, excellent question. Bernal, thank you so much for tuning in. Hola, Paolo, buona notte de Portugal. Gracias por mirando. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Here's the buses. This is one of the bus hubs of Queens. Most buses that travel through Queens stop here. What stop is the 7 train on? This is the very last stop on Main Street. It also services the MTA Long Island Railroad. To get a cool perspective, let's go up. Here's the Flushing Main Street stop for the Long Island Railroad. Now, the Long Island Railroad cool thing is, if you want to get from Main Street, Flushing to Manhattan very quickly, you take the LIRR. It's a little bit more expensive. I think it's about like $5.25 or something like that. And you'll get there in 10 minutes flat. A little bit less, a little bit more, about 12 to 15 minutes. So here's the Long Island Railroad, but here we get a very unique perspective. So this is Long Island Railroad. Connects all of Long Island from Manhattan, Brooklyn, all the way to Montauk. And do they have elevators for wheelchairs? Yes, on this subway stop and the Long Island Railroad stop, they do have elevators for people with wheelchair. It is wheelchair accessible. Here we're getting above ground view of Flushing Main Street. It's a really unique perspective. Even if you're not taking the Long Island Railroad, go on top of the station. You don't need to swipe anything. It's not like the subway. And here are all the apartments that line up the station. Lots of high-rise apartments popping up here. Hello, Stephanie from Gibraltar. Ooh. Never had anyone watching from Gibraltar, I think, before. Thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to visit Gibraltar one day. It's a hard word to pronounce, but can't wait to visit. Denise says the stench in Flushing Main Street is revolting. Yeah, if you're sensitive to smell, Flushing will be very shocking to your olfactory sense. I'll say that. It'll be very shocking. It's very different from Manhattan or Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So here we have the New World New Mall. Now, I don't think it's open at this time, but if you go to the bottom floor, there is a massive food court where everything in the food court is either Chinese, Taiwanese, Hong Kongese, or Korean. Everything. No McDonald's, no Wendy's. Everything is from those countries. Dumplings, soups, amazing things. And there's also a Chinese supermarket in here. Karen, thank you so much for the stars. And the cool thing about Flushing is that the planes pass very close by. Deb, you know what? Being a New Yorker and as someone who loves traveling to different cities, I'm pretty used to strong smells. I know not everyone is like that. Let me know how you are. Yeah, you will encounter stronger smells in certain cities and certain neighborhoods. Here's one of the most famous bubble tea places in New York City called Tiger Sugar. I covered it last year. And if you're a fan of milky drinks, milky sugary drinks, this is your place. They have the brown sugar latte. And bubble tea is a phenomenon in most Asian countries. East Asian countries, to be specific. Asia is a big place. I'll show you as the order comes out. It's a very interesting, unique looking drink. So it's like filled with brown sugar, it's caramelized. Angelica, does it smell everywhere in New York? No, it does not smell everywhere in New York. There's some places that are a little bit more pleasant. So there's also indoor arcade malls as well. Right there. So bubble tea is cold tea served cold with tapioca balls or that type of jelly balls. Sometimes they're made out of pure sugar, sometimes they're made with tapioca. Tapioca is a derivative of cassava. And it's, as we think as Americans with coffee or Europeans, coffee is the hangout, coffee is the drink you share usually with others. In East Asia, China, Taiwan, Japan as well, you can consider kind of Japan within that realm, Philippines, Vietnam, well, not Vietnam, but those other countries, China, they usually use bubble tea instead of coffee. That's their hangout, that's their drink that you share with someone, either you're meeting up with a friend or meeting up with a colleague, etc. And a lot of bubble tea places are popping up. And they're very indicative not of Chinese American culture of the community, they're indicative of Chinese from China. And anytime you'll see them, you'll know that there's a lot of students specifically living around. I call them bubble tea, yes. Here in New York, you'll often hear it referred as bubble tea, though it is called boba in the West Coast and in Taiwan. So, yeah. All right, let's turn a little bit over here. Check out. Here is the subway. Main Street Station on the 7th line. Marissa doesn't like bubble tea. Let me know if you tried bubble tea before. I used to go there often. I like Gloria's Pizza. Oh, interesting, Gloria's Pizza. Let's see if it still exists. Maxi Lao is in the hood. Ooh, who's Maxi Lao? I gotta check it out. Is that a noodle shop? Tommy? Well, Larry says very different. I'm far away when I was growing up 50 years. West Coast here. Gloria's closed, but we opened up a location in Forest Hills. Oh, cool that there's one in Forest Hills. Hello, Savina from Argentina. Bienvenidos. I think that's Argentinian. Is that the Argentine flag or is that the Israeli flag? De Argentina, sí, de Argentina. Gracias por venir. Go to White Bear for dumplings and chili oil. Let's check it out. Let's see if we can see if White Bear is open. The garden stores. Now, what we're seeing here in Chinatown, in Little Shanghai, is a lot of Chinese are buying real estate here, and increasingly more and more valuable real estate, because the Chinese population that has been moving to the U.S. is more and more affluent. So this is where things get a little bit tricky. Usually immigration is people of lower income or maximum middle income coming into cities. And thus, immigrant populations tend to live in lower class neighborhoods. It happened with the Puerto Ricans. They started living in Spanish Harlem. It happened with the Italians in Little Italy. It happened with the Irish Americans in Five Points. It happens with every single immigrant population. It happened with the original Chinese Americans living in the original Chinatown, Manhattan. However, what's happening now is different because a lot of Chinese moving here, mostly from the Mandarin areas, are very well off. They have a lot of money. They either are high middle class or high class, and they're buying property all around here. So what we have is not your typical immigrant neighborhood. We're having kind of gentrification from abroad. It's very interesting. Let me know if that makes sense. And look at this, look at the high rises over here. Whoa, this is changing. Every time I come here, I see more and more new buildings. Hi, Irene. Nice to see you here. Hello, Kevin. Maxi Noodles is a new shop. Oh, where is it, Thomas? Let me know. George, you're from the Bronx. Most people stopped wearing the mask. Yeah, they have. So this is a white bear. They're only serving it to go. And this is one of the best dumpling places. They sell like a wonton dumpling. It's like a more flatter dumpling. I'm not sure how to describe it. I don't know the exact term. And it's covered in chili oil. So it's very interesting. Though, since there's no seating, I will be showing you another different type of food. Let's experiment. Let's walk around. I'm kind of zigzagging through, but we're adjacent to Main Street, so we're on the corner of Roosevelt Avenue and I think 40th Road. I think it is 40th Road. Was White Bear open? It was. Yeah, it is. I think they're about to close, and that's why they turned away the couple that's in front of us. I love that there's sound of birds here. Yeah, there is. It's really cool. Hi, Alexander from Brazil. So someone mentioned it was, how big is Chinatown, says Marissa. I don't know the size by area. It's a good question. I don't know the size by area. Though it is the largest Chinatown in the US. That's what I know. The neighborhood is sizable compared to other neighborhoods in Manhattan. It is pretty big. All right, let's check out this new shopping center over here. It's on 38th Street and Prince, Maya's Noodles. Here's one of my favorite desserts spots called Spot, and it is the best dessert spot. Really unique desserts. Marissa, no, I don't have a map with me today. So here's the new kind of shopping center / residential. Cool thing about Chinatowns is they tend to mix their buildings. They're both commercial and residential. You don't see that too much in neighborhoods like Manhattan or Brooklyn or like Williamsburg. You don't see that too much. Hello, Susan. Hello, Larry. You don't recognize spaces. I don't either. This is new to me over here. I haven't been to this new center in a while. Does Chinatown have a Chinese New York parade? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The Chinatown Manhattan and the Chinatown in Flushing do it at different points of Chinese New Year. I think this one does it in the beginning and the other one does it at the end. Let's see what's around here. More high-rises. Maxi's was depicted in CNBC. Oh, cool. So here we have Nan Xing Zhao Long Bao. I gotta practice my Chinese accent. I will attempt to pronounce this. Nan Zhang Zhao Long Bao. Chinese is so hard. Beautiful language, but very, very difficult to pronounce. I love it. This is what I love about Chinatowns. I mentioned this before, but look at the multi-level businesses. It's something you rarely see in other neighborhoods. It's not so common in America. It's more common in, as far as I've seen, in Asian countries. All right, let's go this way. Have I been to Joe Shanghai up the street? I've been to the Joe Shanghai in Manhattan, and I love it. It's an amazing place. They sell the best General Tso's chicken, period. And Joe Shanghai is Chinese American food. And General Tso's is an American dish. And I highly recommend it for everyone. Here's a streetcar selling something. Now let's go this way. How does the London Chinatown compare? It's very small. London Chinatown is tiny compared to Flushing Main Street. And London Chinatown also doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't have too many new Chinese. It's a lot of the Hong Kongese that moved in the mid-1900s. Make a left. Where are the people? As I mentioned, this is a lot of Chinese were here. So the students, universities closed, Chinese passage into the US closed. There's not that many people here left. A lot of people you're seeing either are residents here or are Chinese Americans. They've been, there's 1 or 2 generations in. Here's a beautiful restaurant, look at that. Well painted. Donald says the zh sounds like zh. Yes. Yes, yeah, right. I remember when transitioning while I was in Queens. Yeah, I did. Stuart, thank you so much for the hearts. Here's Maxi's Noodles. So apparently this place is good. Should we try it? Everyone. Should we try it? All right, let's sit down. Let's see if there's business. Oh, I think she's watching. It's okay. So Maxi, I think you're the one watching. You're the real Maxi. All right, everyone. This is the first time. Well, actually, this has happened once before. I think it's very rare. It's very rare. Restaurateur says. All right, let's try it out. Hey, are you watching right now? How's it going? Is this your new restaurant?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Been
cool.
Here 10 months.
10 months?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, plenty. I would love to try something. Let me sit down and
please,
order something.
please.
All right.
I'll come back in a few minutes.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, everyone, we are stopping here to try Maxi's Noodle. Maxi Noodles by Maxi Lau. So let's try it out. This is the first. Let's see what's here. All right, let me show you the menu. This is cool. Spontaneous, that's why you watch these wanderings. All right, everyone. Let's see these this menu. We got lo mein, which is something you see typical in Chinese American food. Lots of lo mein in most menus. We got noodle and soup. And look at this. Pork with sweet and spicy sauce, fried fish skin, or beef stew. Ooh. You could get up to 3 toppings in the noodle soup. And let's see. You got plain topping and soup. And you got some appetizers. So we'll wait for Maxi and we'll find out what exactly part of either China, Taiwan, or Hong Kong is this. I can't quite tell, but if anyone can tell, let me know. Michael, hi, I used to live in Kisena. Oh, I'm so glad you used to live in Kisena. And a cold one. I think that might be in store. I think a good Chinese beer or Taiwanese beer might be in store. Please forgive me. I don't know exactly the region this place is so far yet, but Chinese beer just in general is really good. And make a good choice, says Linda, and Irene says this is fun. It really is. Chinese languages sound as if they're fighting. It does. That tends to be the stereotype. It's not true for all Chinese languages, but that is the stereotype, especially with Cantonese. Larry, thank you so much for the stars. Marguerite would love some noodles and ribs. Oh, I'm glad you would love some noodles and ribs. And yes, Juan, the Chinese influence is all the way up Maine, and there's a casino to the Long Island Expressway. There is. Michael, thank you for letting us know. And you went to Flushing High School, Larry. Oh, I'm glad.
You ready?
Yes, I am.
All right.
So how do you find out about Urbanist, first of all?
I actually literally, one of my customers just added me, and I'm like
Oh,
watching, and I'm like,
okay.
oh, you're in the area, and I'm like watching, and I'm like, wait, you're like you're very close to me.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I started watching.
And what area of China does this represent? Is Chinese American or?
This is my shop is a Hong Kong noodle shop.
Hong Kong noodle shop. Oh, cool. Okay.
It's a little different than everybody else around here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I noticed there's a lot of more Shanghai and Northern Chinese here.
Yep.
So what do you recommend that's not spicy?
So my menu is a little complicated, but
Yeah.
it's kind of simple. So
Okay.
I have 6 toppings.
Mhm.
The top 3 is usually the wonton dumpling fishball or the wonton dumpling beef stew. So it depends if you like fish or if you're a beef guy or a fish guy.
Ooh, interesting. I'll have the fish bowl.
Fishball?
The
Do you want
wonton.
noodle soup?
And what's the difference? What's the other option?
I have lo mein style, which
Yeah.
Hong Kong lo mein style means like to mix the noodle.
Yeah.
The soup is served on the side, and it comes with a little bit of vegetables. Versus the noodle soup is everything's dumped in together in a bowl.
Oh, cool. Which one do you recommend? Which was
You
your?
gotta try the
highlight?
noodle soup because
Okay.
our egg noodle is like very chewy and springy. That's what Pete Wells like. So
Okay.
gotta go.
I'll have that. And then do you have any Hong Kong beer?
I don't have beer here, but
Okay.
I do have Hong Kong style milk tea. That's very popular.
Milk tea. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no worries. I'll just have that.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So there we go. So it's Hong Kong style, and I don't know too much about it. So feel free to ask me any questions. And as Maxi mentioned, it is kind of rare to find more Hong Kong style here because a lot of stuff here is mostly Northern Chinese, as I mentioned. Adam, hello from Scotland, welcome. Alvaro says, desde Medellín, gracias por mi recuerdo de la área metropolitana. And Maxi says, where can you get my mask? My mask is available on Smart Glamour. Go to the Instagram at smart_glamour with a U. And that's where you'll find my mask. However, if you want the Urbanist mask, you can also get an Urbanist mask. And if you want to represent Urbanist, you can, right there. It sounds tasty, it really does. I'm excited to try it out, everyone. I'm excited. And sounds cool. Yeah, Becky, it sounds cool. And the real Chinatown. No beer here. And I think for newer establishments, it's a little bit expensive to get a beer license. No, I'm not 100% sure. Ooh, awesome, thank you.
You don't need spicy stuff, right?
No, nothing spicy. Yeah, thank you. Hello, Natalia. Welcome. And you need to do an Urbanist food book. Yes, I might do an Urbanist food book as well at some point. Okay, everyone. So feel free to ask me any questions as we're waiting for the food. I actually don't have too much to talk about. I already basically said all I needed to say about about Chinatown. So feel free to ask me any questions whatsoever about Queens. We're in Queens, and Queens is, as I mentioned many times, is one of the most diverse neighborhoods in the entire world, or diverse regions in the entire world. The most diverse neighborhood would be Jackson Heights, quickly followed by Astoria, Queens. We're about a 10-minute subway ride from Jackson Heights, so you get to see the huge amount of diversity. And they'll ship the mask to Chile. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that they don't have the mask to Chile. I'll show everyone the Urbanist mask. I hope I can get it some way to you. I'll see what I can do, Irene. But here is the urbanist mask. And the reason for me not using this is because I do a lot of talking, so I need a mask that's a little bit more roomier. But if you are just a regular person hanging out outside, going out, I think this is actually better because it's a little bit tighter. Why is it named Queens? Great question. So it's named Queens after the British took over New York City. And the British end up calling Brooklyn, they changed the name from Brooklyn, which was a Dutch word. It's derived, I think, from a town in the Netherlands, and they renamed it to Kings County. I think it's still technically called Kings County. Brooklyn is its colloquial name. Don't quote me on that. However, since there was a area settled mostly by British on the other side of Brooklyn back in the 1700s, they end up calling that Queens County after the king and the queen. Why did that name pop up with the British? Well, it's because the British have a monarchy. The Dutch didn't. They didn't have a monarchy, at least in the traditional sense. I think Maxi's fame started when Pete Wells of New York Times liked her food. Interesting, Thomas. Thomas, I have to give you a big gratitude. Everyone give big hearts to Thomas for first inviting Maxi to the broadcast and leading us here. And then second, for telling us a bunch of cool facts about Chinatown and Chinese culture. Thank you so much, Thomas. Big hearts to Thomas. What's the biggest community in Queens? I'm not wearing my mask because I'm pretty far away from everyone. What's the biggest? I would say it's Hispanic. I don't know off the top of my head, for sure. However, if you do notice, as you walk around anywhere in New York City, it's filled up with Hispanics. And what's the biggest? Oh yeah, the biggest communities is Hispanic. I would say if you look at the numbers, you probably see more and more Asians growing. Asians are probably, if you were to add up all the Asians, including Indians and Pakistanis and Filipinos, then it might be close to number one. But of course, when you talk about Hispanics, Latinos, or Latin Americans, they encompass a huge area of the world. So not all Latinos are the same. I'm Puerto Rican, and when I grew up here in Jackson Heights nearby, I was the only Puerto Rican here. So my culture was different from my classmates who were Ecuadorians and Peruvians and Colombians. It is different, even though we all speak the same language, Spanish, except for Brazilians who speak Portuguese. It is a different culture. So when you talk about these two different groups, you have to be mindful that they are very different cultures within these groups. Not all East Asian cultures are the same. Definitely languages are not the same. And also the cultures themselves. They might look similar from our American viewpoint or from Europe, from your European viewpoint, but they are different, especially the deeper you look. Similar to someone coming in from Latin America or from Asia going to Europe and seeing that it all almost looks the same. It really isn't once you take a closer look. Let me know what you think. Brooklyn stands for the land of books. Of Brooks. Oh, the land of Brooks. Yes, that might be the case. I'm not 100% sure, but let me know. The Dutch made up that word. When I say Hispanic, do you mean people who speak Spanish? That's a great question. I think the official term for Hispanic is people who speak Spanish. However, that might be the official term, but when people here in the US say the word Hispanic, they're more referring to Spanish-speaking Latin Americans. So they're referring to Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Chilenos, Argentinos, Colombianos, Ecuadorianos, Peruvians, etc. Paraguayans, Uruguayans. When people say Latin American or Latinx, They're referring to people who include. Ooh, amazing.
Here we go. Here we go.
Thank
All
you.
right. So real quick, this is
Yes.
fried fish skin. We're gonna try that. These are the wontons,
Wonton.
dumplings, and then the fish ball.
Ooh, wonderful.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy.
All right, let's try this out. So, ooh, I gotta show you this. This is a gorgeous dish right here. I'm actually really blown away. Whoa. You know, fish bowls usually don't look this good. It's very rare, if I were to be honest. At least here in the US. Everyone, the food has arrived. Oh, wow. It looks interesting. It's different, of course. But I am so excited for this. So here we have wonton, which is you'll find in a lot of Cantonese regions, including Hong Kong. Hong Kong culture is very similar to Canton/Guangdong culture. And here we have the fish balls. So, this smells. Wow. It smells like the sea, and I'm not joking. This smells literally like the sea. Wow. And I don't have experience with going to Asia, but from the Asian food I've had here in the US, a lot of it is very, the fish bowls don't tend to be that good looking. Doesn't end up being this pretty. It usually looks a little bit more weird. Let's try this out. All right. So Colomba says delicious. All right, everyone. We are trying these fish skins. I'm gonna try these fish skins first. Oh man. No. Really good. You get the full flavor of the fish. It has like a crispy chip. Wow. Delicious. All right, let's try the wontons. All right, look at this. Now, I love wontons. Wontons, you can think of it as a very fat ravioli. It's pasta stuffed with meat. This case, it's fish. Let's try it out. Wow. I had to turn the camera because I put too much in my mouth at the same time. This is extremely hot. But it is very flavorful, filled with a bunch of fish, and the fish is very juicy. It's amazing. Amazing food. Great food. So really juicy. Let's try the other one. Enjoy yourself. I have the desire to eat. You're so funny. Virtual hug. Thank you so much, Army. Fish skins, good for you also. Yeah, you know, I always eat the fish skin. When I usually cook salmon at home or swordfish. Swordfish, I don't eat the fish skins because they're not that tasty. But salmon fish skins are delicious. Obviously. And it was hot. Yes, it was really hot. I had to turn around the camera because I had to, not to give you too much graphic detail, I had to put it back into the bowl. You spoil us, says Sarah. And I don't fancy that. Yeah, you know, fish is not for everyone. I love fish, but here they also have a beef dish. And for the beef dish, it's more it's more similar to your traditional soup. The cool thing about these soupy dishes that are from East Asia, they tend to be much more flavorful from the soups that you might have in Europe or in America. In my opinion, American soups don't tend to be that tasty. It's very rare you have a very tasty soup. Now let's try this thing. What is this? Let's see what this is. So it's a massive fish bowl, not in the form of a ball, more like a massive fish oval. And yeah, it's really tasty. Looks amazing. Enjoy. Yeah, I definitely am. All right, everyone. Now let's try the noodles. This is really good food. I am not exaggerating. I am really happy to be trying this. It's very good for a breezy day like this. It warms you up just nicely. And here are the noodles. Look at this. Oh, these noodles are interesting. Very thin. Are these egg noodles? I can't quite tell. But they are very thin. They have this kind of shiny yellowish color to them. Let's try it out. That was a lot of noodles. That was a lot of noodles in one bite. I'd rather have haggis, says Adam. Okay, everyone, I want to know your opinions. Has anyone had hot pot, or I mean, what's it called, noodle soup? Has anyone had noodle soup? If so, what do you prefer in your noodle soup? And if you haven't had noodle soup, have you had any type of soup? And do you like soup, period? What are your thoughts on soup? I want to know. I would have taken her up on the offer of chili sauce if I were eating with you. Yeah, you know what? I know what you mean. Spice is very popular, especially in Asian cuisine. Of course, I'm using an umbrella term. In Hong Kong cuisine, I know it's also very typical. But I don't like it. I like tasting the nuance of spices that are already used in the soup, in the broth, and I love tasting the noodles, and I love tasting the fish. If you put a spice, you usually overwhelm, in my opinion, the rest of the thing. And Phil says, you're so brave eating long noodles on camera. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I am. Oh yeah. All right, let's try this out. So I tried the other one, the other wonton. Wow. This one is filled with very, very plum shrimps. Absolutely delicious. Again, I feel like I'm eating the sea right now. Eating the sea. The entire sea. Just like all in one gulp. Let's have another bite of this. This is really delicious. So it's also very hearty tasting. There's it's not like if you're from Latin America, I've tried many soups in Ecuador, Ecuadorian soups. I've tried Peruvian soups. I've tried Puerto Rican soups. They tend to be kind of lighter tasting. They have they use cilantro, or they might use other vegetables or herbs that are more lighter, more brighter in taste. This one is quite the opposite. This one's very hearty in taste. Has a very strong taste to it. And I like it for food. I'm not too much of a fan of the Latin American soups. Otherwise, if someone wants to convince me otherwise. All right. Oh wow. Everyone. I gotta take a moment. This is so beautiful. All right, ask me any questions if you have any of the food or quaints. I usually don't eat food fully on camera because I just want to get on with the show. However, everyone, I must make an exception for this one. I cannot leave this dish here. I have to eat as much as possible. It's absolutely delicious. It would just be a shame. It would be a travesty to leave it alone here, abandoned in this restaurant, just for the sake of making good content. No, everyone. I'm gonna eat this on camera. So, if you have any questions, let's chat. Strength, you need it. Oh yeah. I haven't had in quarantine, I've had so much of the food I cook at home, which tends to be salmon, potatoes, lots of salads, avocado toast I make at home. I love eggs, but I haven't had this is very hard to cook at home. Linda says maybe we can help me eating. Unfortunately, I don't think that's no longer that sanitary. If you were to split this, you would have to split it before biting into it. Absolutely delicious bowl. I am in love with it. Yeah, in love with it. And usually fish bowls are like not so good looking. This is the best looking fish bowl I've seen. Yeah. All right, let's try this one now. So feel free, wolf it all down. One of my favorite shows when I was little was Dragon Ball Z. It's a Japanese anime show. It was translated into English here in the mid-90s. And the main character, Goku, he's the guy who's very, very built, and he fights aliens, right? And one of the running jokes in the show is that you see like his wife, who's like very small with purple hair or blue hair, and she's eating like very slowly. And then the camera pans, and you see Goku like this, and just like soup splattering on his face. And then the camera pans again, and he puts the bowl on top of a huge stack of like 20 bowls. It's one of my favorite scenes in that TV series. So please finish, says Thomas. Noodles have to be eaten the minute it hits the soup. Indeed it does. Colum says you will have to separate for takeout. And that's why, interesting, Thomas. Thank you for mentioning that. One thing I've noticed, as Thomas just mentioned, when you go to Hong Kongese places, Taiwanese places, modern Chinese places, they serve you the noodles separate from the broth if you're taking it for takeout. And that's the reason. It's like an Italian place. Very good Italian food. They mix the pasta with the sauce right before serving it to you. If the pasta is already mixed with the sauce way before, it ain't good pasta. Or at least it's not a good quality pasta. Hello in Brazil. Thank you so much for watching. What airport is nearby? We're in between two airports. That's why airplanes are passing this way from JFK, John F. Kennedy Airport, and planes are passing this way from LaGuardia. I'm gonna have another. What I'm gonna do is dunk this fish skin. Let's try a very American way. I'm not sure if they do this in Hong Kong, but I'm dumping this fish skin. Tastes good. Tastes good dumping it. It's like a donut. It's like the Hong Kong version of donut and coffee. Marcelo, ¿qué inglés? Esto es comida de Hong Kong. This is Hong Kong food. Or at least a version of it here in America. They're bringing in the tables. They must be closing. They are. So I'm going to finish this soon. And we're going to start walking again. There's a few more blocks to cover. I have a little bit more. He sounds like the equivalent of Popeye in his spinach. Do you know Popeye? I do know Popeye. Phil, I do know Popeye. Joseph, I'm not eating Italian food in the Chinese restaurant. It might look like that, but I'm eating noodle soup. It's not Italian food at all. There's pasta, but it's not Italian pasta. Which goes to the greatest question. Is pasta from China? Is Marco Polo's story correct? Because there's actually historical accounts of pasta being described back in ancient Roman times, way before they ever went to China. Who knows? Good dinner if you could take a doggy bag with you. No, this is something you can't really doggy bag it. I'm gonna have a little bit more noodles, and you must be hungry with all that walking. I really am. I really am. Great quality of noodles. So Donald says China had noodles before Italy. That's the thing, Donald. You know, I don't know the history fully off the top of my head, but I remember when I went to Italy, there were accounts of pasta being mentioned in ancient Rome. Now, did the Chinese invent noodles even before then? I would say most likely, because the Chinese had beer over 9,000 years before. So, all right. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Watching Columbus, Ohio, and visiting a friend in Corona this year in Queens. Oh, cool. I'm glad, Kevin. Oh, wow. Oh. Highly recommend Maxi's Noodles. Maxi's Noodle, singular. Maxi's Noodle in Flushing Main Street. I have to put this now on my top list of Main Street restaurants. It's very unique and absolutely delicious. They have fish and they have beef. And they also have vegetarian. So they have 3 options. Really delicious. I'm gonna have one more fish skin. Okay, everyone, we're going to get set up and we're going to go walking once again. Where would you like to go? Let me know.
This is on me.
Oh, thank you so
For
much.
your walk, I guess you're gonna keep browsing around.
We're gonna keep browsing. Do you have any other? Yeah, you can take it. Do you have any recommendations for desserts? New dessert places here?
Okay, so everybody likes Spot, which is down there. I do like another place that's if you keep going up this down this block,
Yeah.
go up, and then You're gonna hit Queen's Crossing. You're gonna make a right. There's a place called Mango.
Mango. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they're open. I called there yesterday, but I don't know if they were like closed early or something
Okay.
like that. But they have this mango ice cream.
Yeah.
With like this white tapioca balls, and then it's like in a mango puree juice. And
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
I don't know. It's like
Oh, that's
amazing.
interesting.
Yes.
Oh shit.
The
Okay.
mango. Check out mango if you haven't been there.
That's amazing. I'll have just $5 in
Yeah,
back.
thank you so much.
Okay, mango. Let's investigate as we explore. And this is honey lemon or lemon tea? One of the two? Let's try it out. Some lemon tea. Thank you so much, Maxi. Well, she's here, but on the video also. Thomas, thank you for recommending and tagging Maxi. And Maxi, thank you so much again for the amazing noodle soup. The total came up to $10.85. Very good price. Thank you so much. Have a great day. All right, let's go. I'll show you the place one more time so everyone knows where it is. 138th Street. Have a great day again. And do you have an Instagram?
I do.
What is it? What's the name?
Well, everything's on here, but I will
cool.
give you my card.
Okay, cool.
Take
Awesome.
a few if you want.
Yeah, that's all right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a great
Yeah,
day.
tag us.
Yeah, we'll do.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay. Oh wow, that was I'm in heaven, everyone. I'm in heaven. That was so good. Hello, Arlinda, welcome. So here's one of the very old churches of Flushing. Lots of cool old architecture here. I did a tour of its history about a month ago. Highly recommend checking that out. Tina, this is New York City. Yes, it is. Now, this juice is amazing. This is, I think, the honey lemon. And wow, it's like a lemonade, but just has a more tang to it. Oh, look at this. Here is a graveyard. Back to work, yeah, back to work for me. Back to work on walking around. Maxi's Noodle. I'll put a photo of it later. Here's a graveyard. Let's see how old this building is. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it might be at least mid-1800s. How do you get here? The 7 train to Flushing Main Street, the Long Island Railroad to Main Street stop, or you get here by car. It's about 20 to 30 minute ride from Manhattan. Lemonade looks different in the UK. Yeah, I can imagine. Tina, highly recommend it. It's very fun, and it's very different from Manhattan. So if I miss any questions, feel free to ask. Mango season is in Mexico. Oh, cool. Time for dessert. Have an ice cream or a bubble waffle, says Stephanie. Yes, those are 2 things you'll find a lot of stuff here. Odd that they close early, still supper time. Yeah, you know, it's a bit weird. A lot of places are closing early nowadays. Not entirely sure why. Oh, here's information about the church. 1854, so yeah, I was right. Mid-1800s, 1854. It's the St. George's Episcopal Church. There were earlier ones. One was built here in 1746. And its design is in the Gothic style and the work of Wills and Dudley. The congregation was organized in 1702 and received the charter directly from King George III. Here's more cool stuff. Sandra, am I walking to the Little Italy side? Sandra, no, we're not in Manhattan, Chinatown. We are in Queens, Chinatown, Flushing, Chinatown. And there is no Italian side here. There's a more of a Korean side, but there's no real Italian side. Let's cross the street. So actually, let's go walk through back this way. Show you the church a little bit more this way. Have I ever tried hibachi? Oh, I'm not sure what hibachi is. Susu. Yeah, don't know what hibachi is. I know it's Japanese, but I don't recall if I've ever tried it. Let me know. What's hibachi? There's an Indian side. No, not 100% sure. That's a good question. Is there an Indian side to Flushing Main Street? There's Indian neighborhoods in Jackson Heights, that's for sure. So lots of places here closed. So cool you're live. Yeah, Tina, yeah. I am live, indeed. It's cooking on the grill in front of you. Oh, yeah. I've had the Korean version of that, which is KBBQ, Korean barbecue. I've had it and I really loved it. I've never had the Japanese hibachi, though I imagine it's a very similar experience. And yeah, I love it. It's sometimes a little bit hard to know how much you have to cook the meat. And it's a bit tricky. Beautiful church. I love old churches. I'll show you another of the plazas right over here. Your mask design is chintz. Ooh, what does that mean? Chintz. And originated in Hyderabad and has connections to Mughal arts. It's a design used in dress fabric. Oh, I never knew that florals come from the Mughal Empire. That's so interesting. Thank you for letting us know. So here is outdoor dining from this food court. And there's a Teika NYC. Oh, there's Japanese ice cream. that's interesting. Eh. I'm doing Facebook. 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 Yeah. Urbanist. All right. Oh, there's no. Is there a takeout? Let's see. Ice cream. And here's another very interesting place called Paris Baguette. It's like a Starbucks Korean style. And that was the little food court. And here's the place, Mango Mango. If you guys want to check it out, let me know in the comments. I gotta adjust my mask before I make any moves. So usually it's not this quiet. It is a Sunday towards the afternoon, and things do tend to get a little bit quieter on Sunday afternoons. But as I mentioned, it's also due to the pandemic. A lot of the people who were based here, I assume, had to return back home. And I think businesses really suffered. The ones who are from here, have been living here for many years, their businesses suffered because a lot of people haven't gone to these restaurants due to confusing the pandemic with more of race issues. So it's a complicated issue, but it's usually not this empty. Who wants to try Mango Mango? Should we try Mango Mango? If you want to try Mango Mango, put a mango emoji in the comments. Here is one of my favorite Chinese bakeries. They're closed right now, but once they open up again, highly recommend it. I mentioned them in Manhattan before. Fei Da Bakery. Great pork buns. All right, everyone, let's see if Mango Mango is open. Hey, do I order up front? Do I order over here in the front or here? Okay. What's your menu? Oh, amazing. Thank you. What? Okay, thank you. Okay, here's the menu. Oh, wow. I'll have the mango sundae, please. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. So, welcome to Mango Mango, as per recommendation of May, who said to check out this place. And I'm trying the mango sundae. Having a sundae on a Sunday makes sense. Oh yeah, it does. It does. Donald. Susie, thank you so much for the stars. I really appreciate it. These stars help with providing the cost for food, things like this, attractions, and showing you other places on live video. All right, everyone. So, as we're waiting for our mango sundae, feel free to ask me anything about Queens. Oh, thank you so much. All right, that was quick. Okay, wow, cool menu. So yeah, the menu has a huge array of sundaes, mango, red bean, some rice flavors, and then we have your crepe cakes, which are really tasty generally. And then there's mochi. Mochi is like a Japanese style ice cream, and it's very kind of chewier. It's a chewy ice cream. And then you have your matcha crepe rolls, which are among my favorites. So a lot of Japanese style desserts here, even though I think this place is not Japanese. It's probably not. All right, let's try the mango ice cream. And having my dessert, Chinese Jello yellow tart, while I eat mine. Indeed, I'm glad, Susie. Langzhou homemade noodles. Langzhou homemade noodles is in the New World Mall, is out of this world. I can't wait to try that one day. For me, this is my last meal of this video, but look at this. Here's a mango sundae. Let's see what else it has on it. I don't know what else it has on it. I see kind of a toffee cookie. Looks like a cinnamon roll, but it's a cookie. And there's some whipped cream. There's some mango sauce on it. Mango ice cream. And actual pieces of mango. So it's mango on top of mango on top of mango. Looks good. Mochi has rice flour in it. Thank you for letting us know, Donald. So mochi is made with rice flour. Whereabouts is Flushing Meadows? We are almost walking distance to Flushing Meadows Park. It is about a 15-minute walk away, maybe a little bit longer than that. Yeah, we're close. We're close to Flushing Meadows. And can we see the menu, Dawn? One more time, I'll show you the menu. I ordered this one right here. $6.95. So it was $7.57 was the final price because they had tax. Ooh, this one looks good. Double egg custard. Ooh. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm excited. All right, everyone, let's try this out. I usually don't eat ice cream. I usually don't eat dairy, period. However, I make an exception when it comes to these videos. Because I know many of you like your ice cream, so let's try it out. I do love mango, though. I don't think this is a milk ice cream. I think it's a sorbet. And it's really good. Definitely strong on the mango. Delicious. I love the mango sauce on it. It's very creamy, very soft. It's a great combination. You just get a beautiful array of different textures. You end up getting both the mango itself, which is always great to have real fruit on top of ice cream, in my opinion. And you got the creaminess of the sorbet with also the creaminess of the whipped cream. Delicious, absolutely delicious. I would recommend this. Yeah. Usually Sundays, American Sundays tend to be much more sugary. This was not that intensely sweet, and I think that's a good thing. It's not that intense sweetness, and that intense sweetness for me, at least personally, I don't like it. I tend to like pastries which are not as sweet. If you're a person who likes ice cream, who likes mangoes, this is the place to visit. Look at that. Now, this is really good, so I'm gonna have a few more bites. Is it fresh mangoes or is it canned mangoes? Let's see. Let's try mango. It tastes fresh. I can't really tell. Canned mangoes have a more of a syrupy taste to it, so no, I think they're fresh mangoes. Yeah, I think they are. Sheldon, great question. And Karen, thank you again for the stars. I really appreciate your stars, Karen. And Sandra says, oh my God, that is a sacrifice. It is a sacrifice to eat ice cream for all of you. It's a big sacrifice. You know, I do my best. I do my best. Okay, so as I'm eating a little bit more of this, feel free to ask me any other questions about Queens. Let me know, what have you been wondering about this great borough, more than 2.4 million people? It's a whole lot of million people. One of the most diverse boroughs in the entire world. Fresh fruit really makes a difference. It really does. You know, the thing with mango in the U.S., it could tend to be very plain tasting. And I'm not sure why. I think it's mangoes grown here in the U.S. somewhere, but probably not that well grown. So you end up having mango it's not as flavorful. Same cases with bananas and many other fruits here grown in the U.S. However, this mango is very flavorful, so they're somehow getting some very good mangoes. Now, it's crazy to think that fruits, when you look at fruits all around the world, there's only a limited amount of fruits. You know, not every single place of the world has hundreds of fruits. Fruits only go up, I think, up to 100 types of fruits, maybe a little bit more than that. It's not that many. And most of the Western world didn't know about mangoes until we started trading a lot with India, which is kind of crazy to think about. And it's kind of crazy to think about how mango proliferated from the Indian subcontinent all throughout Asia, and then eventually to America, where we have these mango sundaes. Cindy, you left for 5 minutes to have your dessert. Oh, I'm glad. So, Oscar has a great question. He says, looks like Queens is the most normal of the 5 boroughs. What do you think? Depends on your definition of normal. But if you're talking about a city that doesn't feel as grandiose, as extravagant and high and super fashionable as Manhattan is, or as Williamsburg is very hip and trendy, yes, this is a little bit more down to earth. You do have more families, you do have younger kids, you have teenagers, you have people, it's not super hip by no means, like Soho or Williamsburg is. So in that regard, yes, Queens is a little bit more down to earth than Manhattan or Brooklyn. Though you'll find down to earth places in downtown, in southern Brooklyn as well. Oh, Oscar asked, post-COVID. So we haven't gone through COVID. It's still ongoing. Are things getting back to normal? Kind of. Not so much in this neighborhood, as I mentioned. Things are a little bit way quieter than usual. But however, if you go more to the residential neighborhoods of Brooklyn or Manhattan, they are way more packed. It is very normal. Lots of people are eating out in restaurants. All the restaurants are outdoors. People are drinking outdoors. There's bars outdoors. So yeah, it's normal in that regard. And TB Showtime asks, when I think of Queens, I think of Coming to America. Is McDowell's building still here? Oh, I don't know what McDowell's building is. I saw Coming to America when I was very young, so I don't remember too much about it. So I'm not sure. However, yeah, it was shot in Queens, and I think there's a Coming to America Part 2 coming out, which was also shot in Queens. Okay, I'm gonna have one more bite, and then we're gonna continue walking around. That's delicious. By one more bite, I mean 2 more bites. And by two more bites, I mean like the entire thing. Super. Helen, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopolo as well too. Thank you so much for watching. Oh my god, you guys see this, the mango chairs. Doggy bag, please. Oh, I finished it. I typically don't eat ice cream, but as I mentioned, making a big sacrifice for all of you. Which way should we go? Let's check out the back end of Flushing Main Street. The other street. Let's check it out. Let's see what's there. So, one more time, Mango. This is the place. I'll put the addresses later because I don't know off the top of my head. But here's the intersection, 39th Avenue and 138th Street. That's Mango Mango. And let me put this down before I continue walking around. Thomas, it says Spider-Man and Aunt May lived in Forest Hills, Queens. Yes, they did. And Spider-Man 1 was shot there. I think they shot all three of them because Aunt May is featured in the other two as well. And Spider-Man Homecoming was shot in Queens, but not in Forest Hills. It was shot in a different neighborhood. Mostly in Sunnyside, I think. So how was my sacrifice? It was a good sacrifice. As far as ice creams go, that was really delicious. Highly recommend it. And good price. The sundae wasn't $11 or $14 as it is in Manhattan. Prices for ice cream in Manhattan are way too much. Good price, very good mango. Very juicy, juicy, juicy mangoes. Very juicy. Let's explore. Things are starting to close. I'm actually pretty shocked. Now, one thing I noticed about Chinatowns is there is the stereotype with Chinese Americans that they're screaming at their employees, but when you go to more of these more modern Chinese neighborhoods, it tends to be very quiet. You know, I was surrounded by people in that ice cream shop, and people were just talking. I haven't been to Japan yet, which I know that is also the case in Japan and Korea. So I find that very interesting because growing up Puerto Rican and also in New York, people tend to speak a lot louder. Here's a hot pot place, and this one's full. Lots of people having their hot pot. And here we have some Sheldon says great portion as well. Jackie says mango, mango, yeah. Oh yeah. Would love to see Flushing Meadows, says Thomas. Ooh. And here's another bakery, Tours de Jours. French name, even though it's probably not French at all. It's either Korean or Taiwanese. Tours de les Jours. Forgive my French pronunciation. Let's check out more of the outdoor dining scene here at the backside of Flushing Main Street. A few places are full, which is nice. So this area looks a little bit more lively. Susie says, wow, you're doing more tours now that you're walking. I am. It was hard during the pandemic. Now it's a little bit easier. And I'm glad I could show you more of New York. And Susie, Susu, sorry I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, let's turn here at the main shopping area, which is, this is Union Street. And I think this is Roosevelt Avenue. This is Roosevelt Avenue, yeah. Columba says I enjoy this like if I were 10 years old. You know, I do get very excited with food, with history. I'm a very easily enthused person. It's called joy of life. La dolce vita. There's a saying in French. I forgot what was it again. Oh, joie de vivre. You know, I've been told by a lot of people I have a joie de vivre, which is the joy of life, or la dolce vita. There might be an expression also in Spanish. And yeah, I think it's a good way to live. You know, if you're having a good ice cream, might as well enjoy it deeply. Here we see older buildings, but new high-rises right next to it. Hello, Julian, welcome from Florida. Hello, Gerard. Bienvenidos. Now here's the Macy's. And someone asked for a view of Main Street. So here's the map. There's Main Street right next to the park. Here's one of the older pizzerias. I'm not sure if this is the same one. Yes, it appears to be the same one since 1962. This pizzeria has been here for quite a while. Here's let's see if one of my favorite places is open. Shirt from Florida, Miami, welcome. Those huge buses are public transportation. Yeah, they are. They're much bigger than the buses in London, and yet they have half the capacity. Love that you don't see people enjoying life like that too often. Yeah, Columba, you know, I've observed the same thing. Sometimes I'm blown away when I'm having like an ice cream at like a place like that, and I'm the only one with eyes wide open, like, oh my god, this is the best ice cream ever, because it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so shocked sometimes when I don't see people like blown away by food. But I know everyone's different, so here is one of my favorite places. This one is Joe's Steamroll, and it's within this kind of little mini mall, and they make amazing steamrolls. I've featured them before in Manhattan. They're also in the East Village. And here's the New World Mall. New World Mall, just one new. Sheldon says, I'm a foodie and loves history of places, so today's walk was a treat for you. I like watching you eat because I'm a big foodie and you describe food very well. Oh, I'm so glad, Susu. Is this where you live, Kay? Kay, no. Someone asked me that before. Sorry, I missed your question. I live outside of Queens, so close, pretty close. About a 20-25 minute drive away, maybe a little bit less. That's no traffic. I'm disoriented. Does Main Street intersect with Northern Boulevard? Yes, it does. Here it is. So yeah, we're a little bit disoriented, but we're basically returning to where we started the live video. We just gone in the circle. We went all around, and then we're back here to around the same place we started. So So we are in Northern Boulevard. I mean, not Northern. Sorry, Northern Boulevard is a little bit further up. This is Roosevelt Avenue, Main Street. Roosevelt and Main Street is here. We did not get close to Northern Boulevard today. That is much farther away, down that way, beyond the church. And I covered that about a month ago. There's a lot of cool historic buildings in that area. And Becky, you like that Macy's? Oh, you do? Is it still open? I think it is. Before there used to be a Woolworths right next to it. I remember that in the 90s. Okay, so we already saw basically everything we needed to see in Flushing Main Street. Most of it, the rest is residential neighborhood. However, right next to here, we have one of the most iconic parks in New York City, Flushing Meadows Park. Since we're close, and I already ate on camera the entire time, and I still got burned this food away, does anyone want to continue on and go to Flushing Meadow Park? I think it's about a 15-minute walk away. Let me know in the comments if you want to continue this live video. If you don't want it to end, if you refuse for it to end, let me know if you want to continue to Flushing Meadow Park and press that heart button. Or if you're on YouTube, press that like button and that bell button. I gotta take a small break. I'll show you the views of Chinatown. Becky, yes, I do remember Stearns. I don't remember Alexander's, but I do remember Stearns. What was Alexander's? Let me know. And we got a lot of yeses. A lot of people are saying yes. Okay, I remember the church and the historic buildings on Northern Boulevard. Next time I'll visit Main Street. Yeah, it's all within walking distance. Everything is very close. We'll continue moving in about 1 minute. Natalia says C. Renee says yes, please. Okay, we got a lot of demand. Lots of hearts. Okay, we're gonna get there in 32 minutes, but I think it'll be worth it. All right, everyone, 32 minutes, we'll get to Flushing Meadow Park, and we're gonna see more of the residential areas of Flushing Main Street, and also a big chunk of the park.
Head south on Main Street toward 40th Road.
How close is Regal Park? Great question. I don't know. Regal Park, if I were to guesstimate, would be about an hour and a half walk. Driving might be a lot closer. Might be only 10 minutes driving, but I think walking might be pretty far. Quarty, thank you so much for tuning in. You say people from America have it better because they speak English, and people have it from other countries have it bad. My English is so bad. Quarty, I mean, you're already writing pretty good English, I must say. I would say you don't 100% need English. Let me know where you're from, but if you are from one of the major ethnic groups that are here, Hispanic, Chinese, Filipino, Indian, you won't need too much English. It's not that needed because a lot of them already speak within their own languages. So we just done a huge circle. This is where we started, about 1 block down there. That's where we started. However, we're going now towards the park. Get ready, everyone. It's Sami Hawk. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. You say I live in Queens County. I've not been there yet. You speak English very well. I want you to teach me English. Well, you can watch more of my videos if you want to learn conversational English. It's a great way. I have a few classes. There's a Marilyn who tunes in. She usually watches with her class in Mexico, trying to learn English. So it's really cool. And I have a few others. There's a few Japanese classes who watch my videos as well. Does your arm get tired holding the camera? No, it's a pretty lightweight camera. Also I have very powerful forearms. No, but it doesn't get too tired. It's a pretty lightweight camera. I'm only using my phone. The microphone is basically weightless. It's not that heavy. And the gimbal is very lightweight. The gimbals that they make nowadays are very easy to carry, especially this DJI Osmo Mobile 3. So we are in the backside of the Long Island Railroad tracks. Here we see them behind the power station. Lori, you're not sure why you're having any sound. Well, there is definitely sound. There's a little audio button. There's a little speaker button. Be sure to press that to unmute it. Born and raised in New York. I haven't seen the side of Queens. Says Cindy, you know I barely walked in this area also. Outside of Main Street, rarely ever walk this direction. So let's see what we'll find on our way to the park. Here we see some very old, much older houses than the newer high-rises that are in this neighborhood. These houses might date back to 1910, around there. Hi, Rob. Thank you so much for tuning in. So here we have more of the Long Island Railroad. Here's the shopping center. Target is here, Michael's here, a few others. And this area, I barely recognize it. I don't know too much about it. You're so welcome, Rob. Renee, you lived off Main Street and Cherry Avenue during the World's Fair. Oh, cool. Oh, here we have the longer railroad passing. Zoom in. Good. That one's going to Penn Station. I'd rather go this way. So Carolyn, the Long Island Railroad runs east-west. It does run east-west. And am I going south? I'm going southwest bound. Southwest bound, yeah. Okay, we're getting close. All right, awesome. We're not too far away. Lee Hulk, I'm from Jackson Heights, Queens. I grew up in New York. A nice Sunday afternoon walk. Indeed it is. This area is not so pretty, by no means. But it is indeed a nice walk. Pat, you also used to live in Cherry Ave in Flushing 5 years ago. Wow. A few people live right by the World's Fair. It's cool. All right, I'll tell you the road. Right now I'm on College Point Boulevard and Stanford Avenue. College Point Boulevard and Stanford. And we're starting to see the city in the distance. Hi, Shadow. Welcome. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you here. Another plane flying overhead. Shadow, welcome. Nice to see you here. Your first time watching. Welcome to Urbanist. Lived here in the late 70s. Airplanes flying over all the time. Yeah, they do. I mean, when I used to live in Jackson Heights, Queens, it would be hard to sleep because there would be so many planes flying over and very close also. Flushing a safe area? I would say yes. Yes, it is a bit empty right now. But I would say yes. I don't feel unsafe. I don't know the crime statistics, although if I were to guess, I would say they're probably pretty low. We are really in the back streets. There's not that much. It's more industrial on this side, so we're closer to the highway. Justine, thank you. This Queens gal is having a hard time picturing that area. Me too. You know, I've barely been here. This is an area you really wouldn't just wander in generally, you know, because it's a bit farther away from major destinations. Western beef is no longer here. I've noticed that. Yeah, I remember this Western beef because I used to come here when my friends hosted barbecues in this area of Flushing Meadow. So yeah, I'm already getting flashbacks. Sunset's looking nice. Oh yeah. So here we have the Queens Botanical Garden, which I visited earlier today. What's going on through here? Mónica, hace calor. Sí, hace un poquito de calor. Está bien húmedo hoy. It's very humid today. I saw a picture of before they had the fair, and the area was really bad. They had to build it. Yes, a lot of the area was built on. It was trash heaps, basically. It was ash heaps. So there was a lot of, I'm not entirely sure what the debris was, but a lot of debris was kind of thrown in there, rather out of nowhere. Shadow, no, I didn't speak Korean. There's people watching in from both Facebook and YouTube. So I spoke Spanish. Sami91, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome. What is this facility? I don't know what this facility is. We're on Fowler Avenue. I think it might be a school of some kind. Isn't the Department of Recreational here? Maybe that this might be the Department of Recreation. No, I don't know 100% sure. Let's see. It does look like it. There's even condominiums being built down here. Whoa. Would you live right by the highway? Let me know in the comments. Would you live right by the highway, which we're about to pass underneath? Okay, so this area is a bit boring, but we're about to get to the park. We're very close. And the park, you're gonna see the stark contrast because people love hanging out at the park, and with the pandemic, it's even more so. Personally, you would, Shadow. Oh, cool. You're a brave man, Shadow. Brave man. So yes, this is the Department of Recreation. Sammy says it's not necessarily boring. You like seeing these parts. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. You know, sometimes in these walks, there is a risk you take where you might walk through a very industrial area. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. And Irene would not move right by the highway. Too much noise. I agree. That's why I personally wouldn't. However, it might be a good price for some people. Let's walk through here. Okay, here we have gone, and now we're going to the park during peak hours because I've been here on weekdays before, but never on a weekend. And you're about to see how packed it is with people. I lived in the I-95 and moved as soon as I could. I can only imagine, Karen. Love the sounds of the city, says Valerie. Oh, I'm glad you do. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. A cloud of smoke, barbecue smoke, salsa and cumbia music. The sounds of people cheering, playing football, the smell of empanadas. We are in Flushing Meadow Park. Let's see which way we walk towards. We gotta go this way. Okay, cool. So is this Long Island Expressway? I think it is. It's $4.95. I think it is. Let me know in the comments. Okay, we got it. All right, everyone. This is Barbecue Central here. Look how much people are all around. Lots of the Hispanic Americans that live in nearby neighborhoods hang out here a lot in droves. So we have, and also you'll see Indians and Pakistanis. You'll see people from all around the world. But a lot of South Americans because they love their soccer. There's a few volleyball courts as well. And they love their barbecues. So you'll see people here from Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, many other places. Yeah, that's the LIE. Thank you for letting us know, Teresa. So this is Flushing Meadow Park. Flushing Meadow Park. Caitlin. And here we have the water fountain going crazy. And this is a park I went a lot when I was in my teenage years. I would come here with my friends to do barbecues. And we usually would go around this area, hearing the nice quiet rumble of the LIE behind us. And there in the distance, we're starting to see the landmarks. There we are. And the sun's setting right behind it. Let's walk towards the landmarks. Irene, yeah, the best way to learn the language is by interacting with the people every day. Yes, that is the easiest way. I've learned Italian and French much easier that way when I visited to those respective places and was there for about 3 weeks. It was much easier to learn. I used to go to the little pedal boats here when you were a little kid. Oh, cool. I wish they still had pedal boats. It would be so cool to ride on a nice little boat. They have pedal boats, I think, a little bit further down in the other lake. And this lake is man-made. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived to what used to be the grounds of the 1939 World's Fair and the 1964 World's Fair. And this lake is man-made. Not a real lake, never was. It was man-made by the great genius or infamous Robert Moses. Definitely not a genius, more infamous. So for context, Robert Moses was the master builder of New York for most of the 1900s, from late 1920s, early 1930s, all the way till 1965. The World's Fair was one of the final things that really people lost approval on. It had very terrible attendance, barely bought any profit, and a lot of countries refused to join in. So the 1960 World's Fair, though it might have been a success for locals, wasn't quite a success on the global scale compared to other previous World's Fairs and expositions. So this is a mega broadcast. We've been live already for 2 hours. I haven't done a 2-hour broadcast in quite a while. Well, I did one on the boat yesterday. How come flags are at half-mast? Thomas, great question. Same case was yesterday in Manhattan. I don't know why. What does that mean, the half-mast? I don't know why. I've seen that also in Manhattan yesterday. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. So as you saw, we see Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Indians, Latin Americans. You'll find Brazilians here as well. Columba says, bellissimo, bellissimo. Sí, bien bellissimo. Yeah. Or you mean it more in Spanish. Bellissimo. Is bellissimo in Spanish or is it Italian? È bella. Bellissimo. Bellissimo. That's how you say it in Spanish. Bellissimo. Maybe because of COVID. Maybe. Not sure. Lo ame. Qué bien. Es una área bien preciosa. Mucha vida aquí. A lot of life in this park, which I enjoy. You know, when you go to Central Park, it kind of dies down by 6 p.m. in summer months. 7 p.m. pretty much dead. However, this park continues to be thriving well into the night. That's the lake where you need a torch. I'm not sure if this was the lake with the torch. I think we're approaching the torch one soon. Yeah, you're about to see the lake with the torch right here. So right over there we have the US Open courts, the tennis courts, right there. Bellissimo. I left and came back and was pleasantly surprised to still see you live. Oh yeah, I'm doing a mega live today. So let's see the grand fountain that extends all the way to the Unisphere. And here it is. I think it's half-mast due to how many New Yorkers died of COVID. Oh yeah. All right, here we are. This is the iconic view. One of them. Grazie mille. Bonjour, buonanotte, Mariosa. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Where's the water? Well, the water hasn't been there for at least 2 decades, as far as I know. I think they dried it out a long time ago. Maybe even before I was alive. Let me know if anyone knows that detail. But it hasn't been here for quite a while. There is proposals and plans already being jotted down by the city of New York to revitalize this park. They're planning to do something on the scale and sophistication as what happened with the Highline Park. So you might see a really interesting display sometime soon. And here the squirrels are very fat. Very fat because a lot of people are feeding them like crazy. Well, let me use a better term. Overweight. They're a bit overweight. And he's waiting for food. I'm gonna throw food. He's waiting for food. Cindy, thank you so much for clarifying. The half masks are indeed for people who lost their lives to COVID. Fluffy, yes, thank you so much for. I retract my term fat. They are a bit fluffy. They're a bit extra loving. Extra loving. That's a good name. Oh, you're watching from Patchogue, Long Island. Well, welcome. Fluffy, yeah, that's the time. They're just plump. They're plump and fluffy, and extra. They just need extra loving. That's the difference. So soon we're gonna get to the Unisphere. And you see all the barbecues here. Lots of people bringing out their lounge chairs. Lots and lots of soccer being played, or football. Depends what area of the world you're from. And here we hear some awesome, I think, Colombian music. A lot of people with no masks. Yeah, other people with masks. People are getting a little bit lazy in New York City. A little bit lazy with the mask, but I'm gonna wear a mask anyway. That's the rocket thrower. Yes, it is. The rocket thrower. No, Sammy, they haven't become mandatory. Just mandated means they recommend wear them, but not mandatory. All right, let's walk over to the Unisphere and check it out. Let's go this way. Carolina, yeah, it is indeed a lovely park. And I can't wait until they do the repairs that they're intending to do, you know, revitalize the fountain and everything. It'll be really nice. The park hosts a huge Cinco de Mayo festival. Cinco de Mayo, for anyone who doesn't know, is a Mexican celebration, though a lot of Americans do tend to celebrate it more than Mexicans do, as far as I know. And yeah, they have one here. They also have a huge Colombian night market festival, which is really awesome. I went here when I was in my teenage years. I was blown away by all the amazing Colombian food. So they have a few cool festivals. There's no walkway here, so I gotta walk this way, actually. What was that statue? This statue was part of the World's Fair in 1964. What was the World's Fair? World's Fair was a huge event with showcasing a lot of the top leading edge technology that was being developed in the 1960s. Also, architecture and design was featured, and millions of people attended. Oh, they covered up the walkways. So interesting. Okay, we gotta walk through the dirt path. Hey, Joe, you were here when you were 7 years old back in '64. Oh, cool. Yeah, I assume a lot of people will end up visiting. Volleyball is one of my favorite things to play in this park. Absolutely love volleyball. Such a fun sport. Let me know, what sport would you play? Would you play soccer here? Would you play volleyball? Would you ride a bike? Let me know, what will you do in this park? You also feature science. Yeah, you're right. Science, technology, architecture, design. Public works as well. Artists were also involved. Shadow, you would bike. Oh yeah, you would. I'm glad. Donna with volleyball and bike. Probably construction because they're renovating the park. It seems like it started, which is good news. Thank you so much for letting us know, David. Because the park does need some work in order to be on par with the parks we're now starting to see in northern Brooklyn and in Manhattan. Oh, Joe would fly a kite. Oh, interesting, Joe. Justine would ride a bike. Deb would play badminton. Deb, you know, I have seen badminton being played a few times, so it's not that rare. Though I think you'll have better luck in the UK than here. So here is the Unisphere, one of the most iconic sites of New York City, definitely the most iconic site in Queens. Irene, you would swim in the lake. I don't think you would want to swim in that lake, Irene. I wish it was swimmable, but I don't think it's swimmable. Carolyn says the highlight of the fair was seeing Michelangelo's famous statue of the Pietà. And this is the first place Walt Disney had his ride. It's a small world. Oh yeah. Donald says, I went from 13 viewers last live stream to 23. I'm so glad more people are tuning in on YouTube. Hello, YouTubers. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in from YouTube. I appreciate it. And if you're not seeing all the chats, it's because there's also people tuning in from Facebook. So let me know if you have any questions. Let's go to the other two ruins that are here of the World's Fair. I think the statue was placed on the deck of an ocean liner in case the ship would sink. It could float off. Oh, interesting. Wow. Let's zoom in on this. Mohammed, which is better, Facebook or YouTube? I like both of them. On Facebook, you see the live stream a little bit higher quality. And these are usually sprinklers, and they would turn on sometimes. Not right now, it seems, but sometimes they do turn on. And here we have a piraguero. I'm so glad their piraguas are being made here. Piragua is shaved ice with syrup on it. And here it is, some piragua. So cool. Except it's mechanical. He's not doing it manually. Mangoes are being sold also in bags. And they accompany it sometimes with hot sauce. I never seen this when I lived in New York, says Wanda. Well, yeah, you know, it's touristy sometimes, especially if you come to the Queens Museum. A lot of people, tourists, when they would come here during the daytime. But once you get here in a weekend afternoon, like we are today, or evening, it's packed to the brim, as we see so many people here. And there we see behind it the US Open Stadium. Right there. What do you do different on YouTube? Caitlin, I do basically the same thing on YouTube. Basically the same. The reason I am on YouTube is because YouTube, I can monetize my videos. So I can put ads on them. And these videos, since they're made for free, I don't charge for you to watch these videos. And one of the ways I can continue making these videos and providing you with more adventures is by making some money from advertising. And YouTube is the only platform that really gives enough money for advertising. Facebook, not so much. So yeah, that's why I'm on YouTube. And also, I love the platform. If I can provide more of these videos to more people, the better. I just want to give as many people as possible. There's a show happening here. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. There are 2 Unispheres in New York. What's the other one, Deb? Let's check out this show. He's a mime. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Is he gonna go through the hole? I'm excited, everyone. What do you think he's gonna do? What those towers are on my left, I will mention them soon. They are remnants from the World's Fair. But right now, let's see what this guy's gonna do. Oh my God, Things are about to get intense. The little circle thingies are spinning. They're going quicker. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Oh, whoa. There's glass. He has summoned glass on the circular thingies. He's playing it like if it was a turntable. This is like a game of charades. People are loving it. Oh, that's funny. All right. So these are the towers of the New York State Pavilion. Thank you so much for letting us know, Howie. They were the New York State part of the exposition. In the World's Fair, I think a few states or a few cities had their pavilions, and also a few countries. Usually a bunch of countries take part in it, but 1964 wasn't really a popular World's Fair because they didn't do it fully with the World's Fair board of directors on board for the project. They're based in France, and a lot of European countries decided not to participate. So it does look like the towers in the Jetsons. It does. Oh yeah, Jacqueline. Yeah, there is a Unisphere in front of Trump Tower in Columbus Circle. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, you're right. All right, let's take a closer look. So, were there any movies filmed right here? Oh yes. One of my favorites is Men in Black. Men in Black had a huge UFO crashing through the Unisphere. And that UFO was actually one of the towers, was a UFO. So, oh yeah. Also, this was an ice skating rink. Was it here or was it here? I'm not sure which one was the ice skating rink. Let me know. I forgot. I've done history videos of here, but sometimes I can't remember everything. One of them was the ice skating rink. I'm still blown away by this great park. I've always thought that the World's Fair was everything that was left, almost in ruins afterwards. Seeing this is great to see how multicultural it is, says Carolyn. Yeah, Carolyn, that's a great thing about this park. There's a lot of life, a lot of energy, lots of families. It's a very cool park to visit. So the towers were used as a parachute drop ride. Ooh, okay. And I think the ice skating rink was here in the New York State Pavilion. So Sheldon, yeah, it is in the climax of Men in Black. It takes place here. And I think Men in Black 2 also takes place briefly here in the beginning. Yeah, the ice skating rink closed quite a while ago. So that one of those things, according to Men in Black, is a UFO. Just goes away and just crashes directly through. I hear mariachi in the distance. Someone's playing mariachi down that way. Mariachi is Mexican folk music from northern Mexico. So no more ice skating rink here. There is a kind of an arts performing venue here. There are performances that happen here. There's a theater here as well. You do an amazing job, says T-Bow Time 12. Living away from New York now, I miss it and look forward to your videos. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying it, man. Thank you so much for tuning in and for the kind comment. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask. So I have done a tour of this before with a World's Fair historian, actually. A really cool guy. Search up World's Fair Urbanist on Facebook and you'll see it there. Let's take a look around. Let's see if we can find a way to peek in the middle. There used to be a little door. They're kind of brutalist style as well. This design reminds me a whole lot of malls. And they're actually reconstructing it. Oh, everyone, we have a development here. Work in progress. Reconstruction of the portions of the New York State Pavilion Towers. They're going to be lit up. What? Oh, that's really cool. And there's going to be more lights. Oh, that is really, really cool. That's how it's going to look like. That is awesome. Let's look around it. There's a car passing. Looks like no one's cutting grass or carrying garbage. The maintenance is not that high here. Okay, here's where we can peek in. Okay, let's see. There's this fence, but we'll get the perspective from this distance over here. And there was like a huge map inside on the floor, if I recall correctly. Station to station, you're watching at 1 a.m. in London time. Oh, welcome back, man. Welcome back. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can spot anything else. We'll go to the other side. Let me know if you have any last remaining questions. This was kind of an epic walk. Yeah, it was such a pleasure showing you Flushing Main Street and showing you these restaurants on spontaneously. That's why I do these videos. I do history videos mostly on Saturdays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Those tend to be the history ones. They're more planned and shorter, about 30 minutes to an hour. And then these ones tend to be longer and kind of wander around and just go with the flow wherever it takes us. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any last remaining questions. I'll show you the skate park. Shadow says, am I single? Indeed I am, Shadow. Michelle says, look forward. Well, you're definitely burning those noodles off. Oh, I definitely am. And here's the skate park. Thank you for the memories. My pleasure. Ooh, this is a cool perspective. Look at this. It almost aligns perfectly. Boom. I hear mariachi music. Where's this mariachi music? Very close. Very close to the mariachi music. Let's investigate for a mariachi send-off. Oh, everyone, Lamborghini. My ride is over here. That's how I'm getting back home. Here it is. Here's the lone trumpeter. But I don't think it's an actual musician. It's just someone with their family. Oh, here it is. Okay, we found the mariachis. Yes. Follow the music, everyone. Follow the music. It's just the family. They're playing together, so they're not really playing a full set. So if you want to get over here, take the 7 train to Flushing Main Street to go to the area we began. There's also a 7 train on Willets Point, and you'll get here. It's a wonderful walk. It's very safe. Lots of kids here, lots of families. So you'll be okay, even towards the nighttime. And I really appreciate so many people tuning in. I really appreciate people leaving stars and super chats. Thank you so much, and also becoming supporters. If you want to lend support to this show, you can become a patron on patreon.com/urbanist. The link is in the description below if you're watching from YouTube. Or if you're watching on Facebook and prefer to support on Facebook, you can become a supporter. Boom, and you'll get that supporter badge. And think of it as buying me a virtual coffee for these videos. David says, I got my kayak off to Glen Island, New Rochelle, and thought the music sounded clear. Turned out it was a full mariachi band. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love when it happens. I just stumbled upon you today. Oh, Carolyn, this is the first time you were watching. I didn't know that. That's awesome. And your broadcast is great. You brought back so many memories. I'm so glad. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Deb, thank you again for the stars, everyone. Planes are flying right overhead. Everyone, keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone.